Billionaire catches his cleaner studying at midnight, but what she reveals next turns his entire empire upside down. Viewers, buckle up. This isn't just a story about wealth and power. This is about how one underestimated woman, armed only with her intelligence and determination, brought down a billionaire who thought he was untouchable. It was 3 o'clock in the morning inside a $40 million New York penthouse. The city outside glowed with lights, but inside, a single flashlight illuminated pages of advanced calculus. Sitting on the marble floor was Maya Johnson, a 27-year-old cleaner. Around her lay cleaning supplies neatly stacked, showing her shift was over. She wasn't relaxing, she was studying. Then came the sharp voice of her employer. "What the hell are you doing here?" Descending the stairs in silk pajamas was Edward Kane, 45, a ruthless billionaire real estate mogul known for crushing competitors and intimidating employees. He looked at her with contempt. "This isn't a library. You're here to clean, not play college student." Maya calmly closed her book, slid her $6 calculator into her bag, and replied, "With all due respect, sir, I finished my work. I was just taking a moment to study before heading home." Her calmness unsettled Edward. For months, she had been invisible. But tonight, the billionaire saw something dangerous in her eyes. Not anger, but quiet certainty. Edward stepped closer, towering over her. "People like you need to know your place. Don't pretend to be something you're not. It's pathetic." Maya smiled faintly. "People like me? Interesting perspective, Mr. Kane." What Edward didn't know was that Maya had been watching him for 6 months. Not just watching, collecting. She had overheard deals, seen confidential papers, and quietly photographed them with her old cell phone. Edward, oblivious, snapped, "You're fired. Get out. Don't ask for references." Maya picked up her books, dignity intact, and paused at the door. Have you ever heard the saying about not underestimating those who are always watching? Edward dismissed it as insolence. But that night, he unknowingly sealed his own downfall. The next morning, Edward laughed off the incident, bragging to his assistant that he had fired a delusional cleaner who thought she was a genius. But across town, Maya sat in a small public library, organizing files. She wasn't weeping or job hunting. She was compiling evidence. Contracts showing illegal land grabs, bribes disguised as consulting fees, and text messages proving auction rigging. She wasn't just a cleaner. Maya had graduated top of her economics class, but no firm would hire her because of company culture. So she had found another way in, through the back door, disguised as a cleaner. Her family, her widowed mother, younger brother, and sister believed she was simply working late nights to keep food on the table. They didn't know she was planning a revolution. At an exclusive golf club, Edward laughed with his wealthy friends. "You won't believe it. I caught my cleaner studying calculus in my living room. Hilarious, right?" But one man nearby wasn't laughing. Michael Torres, a young investigative journalist working part-time as a waiter, overheard everything. Michael grew up in the same struggling neighborhood as Maya. He had spent years investigating billionaires like Edward, but could never get close enough for solid evidence. The next day, Michael approached Maya at the library. "I think you have something I need, and I have something you need." Suspicious, she tested him. But when he saw her meticulously organized notebook filled with damning evidence, his eyes widened. "My God! This isn't just about Edward Kane. This could expose half the corrupt elite in this city." For the first time, Maya had an ally. For weeks, Maya and Michael worked in secret. She continued pretending to search for jobs while quietly building a dossier of corruption. Every bribe, every fraudulent contract, every manipulated deal, cataloged, verified, cross-checked. Michael used his contacts to confirm details, while Maya connected dots only someone with her economics background could see. Meanwhile, Edward boasted at parties, mocking Maya, as if she had been nothing more than a silly cleaner. He had no idea the trap was tightening. The final piece fell into place during a private investor meeting inside Edward's penthouse. Hidden cameras captured him offering bribes in exchange for inside information on a public housing project. The irony? The same man who mocked Maya for studying was filmed destroying lives with corruption. Michael whispered to Maya as they reviewed the footage. "With this, plus your documents, we don't just have a story, we have a bombshell." The decision was made. On Monday morning, they would publish. Monday, 6 a.m. Edward's phone exploded with calls. Lawyers, investors, politicians, reporters. The city's largest newspaper headline read, "Billionaire Empire Built on Fraud. Exclusive documents reveal years of corruption." Photos, bank records, contracts, all laid out in brutal detail. At the bottom, evidence provided by an anonymous insider. Edward froze. Anonymous insider. Months of access. His mind went back to Maya. By 9 o'clock a.m., his accounts were frozen, investors fled, and prosecutors announced investigations. The empire he built on greed was collapsing brick by brick. The penthouse doorbell rang. "Mr. Kane, it's Maya Johnson. I came to return something you left behind." Shaking, Edward opened the door. She stood tall, no longer in uniform, but in a simple blazer, holding a briefcase. She placed a copy of the newspaper on his desk. "Thought you might want a signed copy," she said, smiling. Edward's voice trembled. "It was you, all this time." Maya leaned closer. "For 6 months, every document you left lying around, every word you thought no one understood, I was paying attention. You thought I was invisible, but invisible people see everything." Edward collapsed into his chair, realizing the truth. He had destroyed himself by underestimating someone he thought was beneath him. Maya looked him straight in the eyes. "Power isn't about money, Edward. Real power is knowledge, and what you do with it. You used yours to destroy lives. I used mine to bring justice." She walked away, leaving him surrounded by luxury that was now nothing more than evidence in a case file. Viewers, here's the takeaway. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Behind every overlooked worker, every underestimated dreamer, there could be someone powerful enough to change the world. Maya's story reminds us that respect costs nothing, but arrogance can cost everything. So the next time you're tempted to judge someone by their job, clothes, or status, remember Edward Kane. Remember Maya Johnson. And remember, the person you ignore today might be the one who rewrites your tomorrow.